Welcome to Whose Review Matters Anyway, the podcast where the show notes are made up and the reviews don't matter, just like sour cream on a burrito. Doesn't matter because it never could desire Mike at all.
Listen,
Never can satisfy Mike.
I told you this story with confidence, and you're gonna fucking throw it in my face again.
You left it too open. I was like, oh, this is perfect. We don't need to recap the whole story. Listeners, Mike can't seem to find the perfect ratio of sour cream to burrito anywhere in the world.
On for him.
I just feel like it just doesn't belong in a burrito. That's just me. I don't think it belongs in a burrito whatsoever. And I went to Tijuana Flats, ordered a burrito, and I said no sour cream. And what the fuck did I get on my first bite? A fucking cream of sour, like fill loaded of liquid sour cream. It sounds so wrong, but fuck it.
Well, speaking of things that are wrong, Mike, how have you been?
Next. Believe it or not, guys, I haven't been up to anything. I'm still on my anime marathon. I'm almost caught up on Attack on Titans. It is on their final season, but I'm almost close to season 4.
Just to be clear, it's Attack on Titan. Just because I think you're saying Titans because of Teen Titans.
Yeah.
That's one like DC guy over here. He's mixing up his titles.
I mean, Attack on Titans, I guess, or like, but same shit. Tomato.
Attack on Titans.
Titans. I guess it's Titans. Or you
anyway, continuing on. I'm sorry I brought it up.
Fuck. It's like, I don't know, when people say, like, I call it Naruto and people call it Naruto.
I call it dumb.
Next, I'm good. That's what I've been up to.
Wait, did you get a car?
No. So what it is that every car actually right now is all fucking sold out.
Yeah, no,
but there's
too, if you did not know.
Yeah. So the car that I'm interested in is coming in 2 weeks, and I put a reservation down payment on it, so like nobody could sell it. So I'm just, huh?
It's not a Tesla, is it?
No. It's a Honda.
A Honda.
Yeah, because now, like, since there's always like now it's hard to
but that
to get a car.
Is it new?
No, yeah, it's brand new. Yeah, it's brand new. I'm just waiting for it to come to the lot, and I'm gonna buy it.
That just sounds like car salesman tactics reservation.
He would know because he used to be a car salesman.
Yep.
It
just
you could have bought your car from him.
I mean, hey, all honesty though, like I won't. Like I prefer that because when I went to Honda, the only thing that they had and everything that they had like on the floor was other brands like Chevrolet, Toyota.
Yeah, they buying up cars.
Yeah, there's no Hondas. There's no Hondas whatsoever. So,
and you like?
Yeah, I love Hondas. They're great cars, man. I think they're better than Toyotas. Their values are way higher.
Not a
their technology is definitely up to date.
What? Get out of here!
It is true. But
well, if Ham wants to bring up things not up to date, Ham.
Nothing, man. I've had
nothing. He was right, then. You're not up to date at all.
Oh, I did see Jackass movie.
I was gonna ask that because I figured both of you, because you two were talking about it the most. I didn't give a shit about that movie.
Got to screener. Got there like 5 minutes before because I was with people. Yes, actually, do not do this at home. Brought in a fucking liter of a special drink into the theater.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a bad idea. But no, it was great. Plenty. It's the first screener I've seen. There was like nobody. Well, not nobody. It was almost full, but those things are always fucking full. They still had tickets day of, so it was interesting. I don't know if it's all the movies, but they did like a weird intro, like a trailer to the movie before the movie. But
Weird. Okay.
yeah, it was just them talking about um the experience. I think it was done after the movie, and they showed clips of the movie. I don't know. It was weird. But no, it was funny. I mean, I was dying laughing. The best part, not a spoiler, well, I guess, but you didn't see reactions. They're in a dark room, thinking there's a snake in there, and they're fucking with them with night vision, like like fucking Splinter Cell, and they're just
Spoilers.
no. You have to see the reactions because it's fucking hilarious.
But was it good?
Oh yeah, I recommend it.
Green card?
Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna watch it next week. I couldn't. The thing is with my time, like I would love to go to one of those screenings, like those first, because I know you guys did it for what movie you guys did it for?
Suicide Squad. That was the last one I remember what I did with him.
Okay.
We did Civil War. We saw it like a month in advance.
Yeah, that was my first time with this as at a screener with him. Yeah.
Yeah, he got lucky.
Oh, got you.
Not easy to come by.
I want to do that. The thing is with my work schedule.
No, yeah,
doesn't...
Tuesday or Wednesday for all of them. The only time you get an early Saturday one is if it's like a kids movie.
Got you. I mean, I wanna plan it. I might. I don't know. I would like for us to go all together and shit like that, but it's hard for me.
I don't even have stuff anymore, so fuck. I can bring it up now, or later, whenever. I beat Halo.
Oh. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's save that for when we go into a transition to this Halo trailer later. We'll save that for later.
There's a green guy in it. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Other than that, not much. I have some news that I just saw really quick. Cuphead, the series is coming on Netflix this month.
This month already?
Yeah. I just saw it like literally I think next week.
I knew that. I knew it was in the works. I just didn't know they were actually working on it.
I had no idea.
I didn't even know there was a show.
No, there isn't. It's coming. It's brand new. It's brand new.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had talked about it like at least a year ago. They brought it up.
And something else is coming out, and I don't remember.
Maybe I like the show more than the game.
Oh, because you couldn't beat the game.
Fuck that game.
Nah, I said fuck that game when it's like, oh, beat it in export mode now, and I'm like, oh no.
I still gotta play the game. I've never played it.
Other than that, there was something else that I saw that was interesting. But so we all have played it.
No, I have not played it.
I have played it. I got to the second world, and I almost broke my brother's computer.
Sounds about right.
Oh, you were playing on the computer? I can only imagine. Don't forget, we have to watch the second season of Space Force.
No, we don't.
I'm not watching that.
I'm not touching it.
Godzilla series. Synopsis revealed.
Matthew Broderick's back.
He's probably. And there's a live action Dungeons and Dragons series coming out.
I heard about that one. Yes.
Yeah. Other than that, I have not really watched anything else that I could think of at the top of my head.
Sounds about right.
So yeah,
I mean,
that was very long. I felt like that took half of the episode.
He always takes half the episode.
He's the half man.
I did not watch anything else besides a required homework assignment. Although I will, and I didn't want to bring this up because I only watched the first 10 minutes of it, but it's something I want to finish. I want to finish the whole series because it has kind of an interesting concept, even though it's been overdone 1,000 times.
Zombie show.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called All of Us Are Dead, I think.
Yeah.
So I started watching it, and already I'm just like, well, if I'm already committed this far into 10 minutes, so I might as well finish the rest of the series. I'm sure eventually, by the time Mike gets a Switch, I'll watch the first season of Witcher. Whenever that'll be. Trying to think. I've been playing lots of Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I'm going to talk about later. And then I've only been playing Halo Infinite. Oh, you know what? Since you, Ham, I don't remember if you brought this up in the last episode, but I know you did talk about it. You said you completed the battle pass, so that does that mean you bought the battle pass?
I think I will now that I know that I can get all of it, and was worried about like if I buy it and then not get everything, it makes no sense. So I
Okay,
think
so yeah, you
I
reached
will.
100. You just haven't bought the battle pass.
Oh yeah, I think I will though. I
Okay,
haven't pulled the trigger yet.
okay. I was curious because I know you mentioned that, but you didn't say
Yeah,
for sure if you bought it or not. I'm trying to think.
Cheater.
Yeah, no, nothing else. Nothing else. I'm just trying to survive until the summer because I just want the school year to be over already.
I
And I
want
still
Same.
got a
over.
few more months. All right, listeners, this is the order. This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to first, I guess, discuss the Sony buying up Bungie ordeal that happened just a few days ago. Then we're going to talk about the Halo Paramount Plus trailer, the official trailer, not to be confused with the teaser trailer, like some person over here did. Trying to think. Oh, and then after that, we'll discuss Pokemon Legends Arceus because
Sure.
video game review for this month. Even though it was supposed to be other games, I completely forgot that game was coming out, and I've been playing it a lot over the weekend. So even though I haven't beaten the game, I think there's still a lot to talk about. I'm fairly confident in how I feel about the game moving forward. And then we'll end it with our main movie discussion, which is called the, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Requin.
I think so.
I
Sure.
call it the Requin. The Requin.
Scientists out there can correct me otherwise.
Speaking of scientists, we'll get back to
It's like,
that.
hey man, you're saying that wrong. It's the Requin.
That was a little scary.
Sorry.
All right, so Sony buying up Bungie.
I
Does
mean,
anyone really give a shit about this?
I'm more of a skydiver. I don't know about bungee, but yeah.
Sony buys Bungie for $3.6 billion. The first thing to make clear, because there are stupid idiots out there that are all of a sudden saying, oh, now Sony owns Halo, suckers. I'm like, do we not recognize that Halo is no longer like with Bungie? Sure, they're the original creators of Bungie, but I think what happened was Microsoft bought Bungie while they were making Halo, so Microsoft technically owns Halo, and then because their contract was up with Bungie, Microsoft created 343 in order to keep the Halo rights. And so Bungie no longer owns Halo. I think it was after Halo Reach was the last game that they made. That was like the last tie of it. And then that's it. So Bungie, as of right now, owns Destiny, which everyone is familiar with, and then Marathon. But I don't think many people really know anything about Marathon.
I was Marathon again, and I play PlayStation.
Marathon was an FPS, right? Like an old prototype FPS.
I don't remember. I remember Blackout.
I never played it, so
I never played it either.
Thoughts?
Do you want my thoughts first, or do you want to take this first?
Nah, we'll take Mike's thoughts first.
This is such a fucking desperation move. Like, they saw Microsoft like purchase all these huge big titles companies, and Destiny, fucking not Destiny, sorry, I mean technically now PlayStation is Destiny now. PlayStation was like, oh shit, we got to make a move quick, so because our fans are getting nervous, and people like Destiny, right, people like Destiny. You know what, let's buy Bungie, fuck it. you know Honestly, I mean, I don't know, I can't speak for all the other Xbox players out there. um some people from PlayStation side see this as a huge win, and some Xbox might see this as a huge loss. But in my opinion, it's just like, okay, like I judge people who play Destiny and who still purchase $60 of new DLC. It's I don't really get it. I You have to do more than that. You have to do more than Honestly, I think at this point Sony needs to do something like how Xbox is doing with the Games Pass, at least something like that. But that PS Now shit that they have is shit. It's complete garbage.
All right,
Ham, your
Ham.
turn.
$3.6 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You could have they could have bought fucking Marvel back in the day. They could have bought Star Wars back in the day. 3.6 million dollars.
Billion, not million.
$1 billion. They could have bought so much more better things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know what they're thinking. We're trying maybe get a multiplayer game where people spend money on fucking uh, you know. But I just don't see the move there. That's you're playing chess and just move the Chinese checker. I don't fucking know. I don't know what they're thinking. We'll see. If something happens differently, which it's not, it's just a bad move. I don't see. I could not even imagine what they're trying to do. Maybe just expand Destiny and people. They looked at the numbers and how many people play Destiny compared to other.
Wouldn't you say as well? Like this was a desperate move.
In response to what, though?
Yeah, I don't know what because of
Because
what.
probably they were nervous that now that Microsoft was like purchasing so much shit, they were like, "Holy fuck, let's just purchase Bungie."
I don't think it has anything to do with the Activision purchase. Maybe the Bethesda, but I don't think it has anything to do with Activision.
I think it's just a bad move. I wouldn't say desperate.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is that like, I mean, with Bethesda and Activision and Blizzard, that whole entire move alone was just like a huge thing. And then for PlayStation, was like, oh yeah, well look what we can do too.
Yeah, but that's like in a matter of
Bungie.
weeks. I feel like a deal like that doesn't take like a couple days. It's not like all of a sudden the Sony exec was like, "Ah, shit. Hey, Luke Smith, that Bungie game, how much do you guys want for that? Yeah, okay, let's do it," and then close the deal like that. I feel like something like that, like with Activision, still with Activision and Microsoft, it's still not like a done deal. It's like they agreed to it, but they still have to go through all the lawyer shit to get it closed off, which is why
Yeah,
it's not going to go into effect until next year. So with
Right.
this, the whole Bungie thing, I feel like if it's a response, it's more of a response towards like Bethesda, where that purchase, because that was much earlier, and then
yeah.
maybe Sony was like, well, okay, let's see what other IPs we have. Plus, I mean, are we really surprised by this? Because Bungie's always had exclusive shit for the PlayStation console. They always got the first strike, or yeah, the first like exclusive strikes that they had there, or armor,
Oh,
or whatever
exotics.
other
Yeah.
area. Like it's always been them. So it's like, yeah, I guess it makes sense for you to be a PlayStation, like you're owned by PlayStation, but at the same time, it's weird because Destiny or at least Bungie kind of made it a big deal that they partnered with Games Pass and that they were going to have their shit on Games Pass. And I thought maybe that would bring in more people. You don't have to buy the game. You may have to buy the expansions, but at least you don't have to buy the base game, and then you get more people to play online. But I don't know. I'm just more confused by it. Like, worth it to buy Bungie? I don't think so. But
I
at the
don't think
same
so either.
time, like, I don't know, Bungie at this point feels like it's almost kind of like an EA Activision thing where they're only like really harping on the monetization,
Yep.
right? Because there was that whole big issue with
But
engrams or whatever, the fucking cosmetic shit where their store was like outrageously overpriced and stuff.
yeah, but the thing is, at the same time, Bungie has only have done Destiny only, and you could say that, yeah, there's a huge player base for Destiny
Yeah, that's so.
alone.
I could see that. I mean, they have. It's
But
a well-known brand, um, but it might just get shittier. So I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't like Destiny. I don't personally enjoy the game, and I don't think it's smart that people keep on buying DLC for it instead of like making other games. But hey, that's just me. Where Bethesda and Activision and Blizzard, they have huge amount of different types of games, and it's worth that type of money that they purchased. Like 6.8 billion
No, it
for
was 68 point something
oh
billion.
68. Sorry, 68. But even that alone, like there's a lot of different types of like there's a huge like lineup of games that they have. Where Destiny is just, I mean, what Bungie is just Destiny. After Halo, it's just Destiny. So 3.6 billion. Uh, I don't know. I mean, of course, he could be working on other games in the future, but I swear to God, it was fucking Destiny 3. This is such a
They
fucking loss.
they did say they were working on another game that's supposed to be released before 2025, and it sounded. I mean, I take my word for a grain of salt because when I read the description, it just basically sounded like Destiny, just with a different costume. So I mean, I don't really know what their new game is going to be because it is supposed to be a new IP. They did mention that Bungie is going to stay as an independent publisher and that their games are going to be still multi-platform. I don't know if that also applies to their new IP that they're making. Maybe that might be a PlayStation exclusive. I'm not sure, but it's just weird that like what's the real deal then? Like what is it that you're actually getting out of this deal other than saying that you now have Bungie? Because if they're multi-platform and Bungie's still allowed to make decisions on their games, whatever decision they want, then what does Sony do? Like, why are they there then? Why does Bungie need Sony? Because I feel like it's not like Sony needs Bungie. I don't think like Sony would have lost if they didn't have Bungie. Like they have all these other great top publishers. So it seemed like Bungie needed Sony maybe for a reason, or I'm not sure. That's why I'm just more confused on this deal than anything else.
It sounds like Bungie got a deal then.
Yeah, I
Probably.
feel like they ripped off Sony.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's that episode of Michael Scott is when Pam and Ryan were trying to join back the company of Dunder Mifflin, and they were lying of how much they cost, and they bought into it, and they were like, "Holy fuck, it worked!"
Yeah, maybe.
Greatest scam of all time, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Greatest scam, greatest scam. But
I don't know.
we'll see in the
Yeah.
future.
Okay, let's talk about Halo. Ham, you beat Halo Infinite. What are your overall thoughts?
Oh, on heroic, by the way. Not regular.
Oh, he's one up in me already.
Yeah. Huh. I started trying to figure out the best way to get a checkpoint when there's just one enemy left and he's chasing you the fuck down. I figured it out eventually. Oh my god, that took forever. General or just everything? What am I?
Just general, because we still have a lot to talk about. So just general impressions. Like what? Like overall? Okay, what would you give? What card would you give the game so far?
Yellow, I think.
Okay, why? What knocks it down to a yellow?
I was always worried about the open world and how unique or different it was gonna be, and some of the stuff feels repetitive, especially with the bosses. Um, I did like that there was a tank one. That was cool, but other than that, it's like okay, kill this guy, then you get that weapon, or even capturing the fobs. It's more of the extra stuff than the main story.
Can you open world game that's not repetitive with their side missions?
Some of them have more variety, at least. Spider-Man, not so much.
I was gonna say because Spider-Man's not a good example because that's also really repetitive.
I mean, you have GTA, you have
Horizon,
Fallout, you have Horizon. This Horizon is a little
yep.
bit, but
Elder Scrolls.
yeah.
See, I think what masks the repetitiveness of these open world games is though is like the approach and like what encounter. Like with Horizon, you thank you for bringing that up because I remember that like I love that game, but the side quests are repetitive. But what makes them exciting is the new encounters of like the different robots and shit and how you deal with them. I think that's what makes them like that's what makes the non-repetitives like kind of like die down. It's like, oh sure, like this may be the same. I go down this elevator, I have to go through these like mechanical tunnels and shit, but look, there's these robots I have to encounter, there's this little bit of platforming I have to do, like it may, yeah, like you said, like a little bit more unique. So like I think maybe the repetitive is just not as hidden as well in Halo Infinite.
Well, I think it's also because you can uh you can finish the game and that's all you have left. That's my situation. So you have to do them sort of in a row, in a row, in a row. Then you're like,
Mm.
Whereas if the side quests were sort of a little bit more helpful in the campaign, because I feel like stuff that you can do side questing doesn't really help you in the campaign. I mean, yes, there's the upgrades, but even then, you don't have to do all of them to be. Not, you're going to upgrade the grapple hook, and that's it, and maybe a little your shields. But other than that, you're not going to upgrade your whatever the location of the enemy or your shield wall or what's the other one?
The thruster.
The thruster, yeah. So it's like, well, why would I even want to do the side quest if it's not really going to help me in the campaign?
Mm.
What else?
Double whammy.
Uh, I thought the campaign was all right. That end credit scene was. Did you get all of that?
Well, I mean, I got the end credit scene, then I looked up the legendary version of it, but it's the same end credit scene. You just get dialogue, because I don't think you get dialogue when you play it on normal and heroic.
Okay. No, I don't think there was dialogue. I mean, some stuff was cool. I I probably wouldn't get convinced of a green, but it's a strong yellow. I the game felt like a recap of all the other games and not a new game. Just all the callbacks, and it's like, hey, remember,
Yeah.
remember, remember, remember.
I remember. You remember? I remember.
Yeah. So I couldn't even tell you what. So the point of the game was to get the ring back, correct, and find out what happened to Cortana.
Kind of.
See, that's
Kind
not,
of.
that's not really like
It's more complicated than that, because what I don't like about how the ending it comes out to be is like it teases, like half of the game teases like there's gonna be something that like is supposed to be a big reveal, and then you think it's gonna lead up to that, and then the credits roll, and you're like, wait, what happened to this whole thing you've been teasing this whole time?
What was the main thing with the guy? I don't know.
Oh, like what his backstory is?
Yeah.
He's just a random citizen that was a coward, and he stole a dropship and just like flew off, and then like he tried to blend in for a while because his family died. Like he didn't have anyone left. He was scared.
No, but it when he said his name, it's supposed to mean something.
No, it's not. He's not.
No?
He's not. He's not. He doesn't have any ties to anything. Now that could change, because I think the next Halo book that's coming out, I think, is about him. But regardless, like, he's an original character. He really has no connections to anybody.
It's just weird that they never call him by a name of the night. It's like it's this. Like they repeat it when he introduces his name a couple times, and I'm like,
right,
okay.
But other than that, did you enjoy the game? Like, do you recommend it?
Yeah, if you're a Halo fan, yes. Even if well, are we talking about the game or the game and the multiplayer?
No, you can't include the multiplayer, because if they're gonna pay $60, it's $60 for just a campaign.
That's my problem too.
Yeah.
Like Sal said earlier, there's spots that are visible, but you can't play them.
And they're not like just like little spots. They look like actual whole areas that you're not allowed to go there.
Yeah, and they did get an extra year. What they do in that year, I don't know. Is it all just more graphics? Fuck if I know. The game has to be very good with not the multiplayer, and you got an extra year. So there's
that. My question to you would be: do you think new Halo games moving forward should still have this sort of open world to it, or should it go back to the, here's the track, here's just go from point A to point B, shoot some aliens along the way? Like, do you prefer the old school route, or do you want to be more like this open world setting?
I do like more open world setting. I think yes, but do it differently. With the open world, I didn't feel it change often. It's just, green. Whereas some of the Halo games, when that first time you go to that flood area, it's like swampy and shit. I mean, there was a little swamp place where that tank fight was, but not
Yeah.
as different changing of settings.
Yeah.
There needs to be more of that because it's just all green. Uh,
Yeah, I would
like
agree. It's not, there's no significant changes. Like, sure, maybe there's an extra hill or here, there, but other than that, it's pretty much, it looks the same throughout. Yeah.
there's like a desert one. And was that 3? Desert shit. Um, all the spires or towers or whatever look almost identical. I mean, I guess that's a reason they can say like, oh, because those people built it, so they look exactly the same. Um, yeah, once in your side, you're like, okay, cool, all metal shit. But I mean, you can get away with that. That's sort of a nitpick. But yeah, you can do an open world better. Are they gonna try and do it? I don't know. This is what happened with Assassin's Creed, and I was worried about that, which is almost on that level where it's yeah, it's open world, but it's very task. Hey, do this. Okay. Hey, do that. Okay, why? So yeah, we'll see. I think they might stick to it.
To see if what Ham says about this, I would say one of Halo Infinite's biggest pros is also its biggest con, is that the lore is really rich in there, in which the audio logs that you listen to, the Forerunner like artifacts that you find, and also the bosses, like the boss side quest missions. Um, they're like, if you look up the profile, like that's the weird thing, like boss there, and they say like the name and then like the title of like what they're specialized in, but then you don't really know anything else about the boss. And then it took me like until a couple of those to realize, oh, there's like a whole like profile that I
Oh,
have to
hard.
read, that, yeah, like a card that tells you more about them and like what they've done and like why they earned this title. I was like, oh, that's cool. I kind of wish that was like more of part of like the adventure as you get there, where
Yeah.
you learn about them and maybe you fight a couple enemies and then you get to that boss. But honestly, for me, like, all I did was literally just hop on a what is it, the Pelican, and I just flew around and I just shot all the bosses like very easily. I was like, this isn't that
Um,
challenging.
I
I mean,
saw.
except for like the hunter and then the tank one, those I had to fight on ground. But once you've unlocked the Pelican at the end of the game, then it's like everything else is pretty easy. But the lore is so cool to it. And one of the problems to like the audio logs is sometimes you're getting the audio logs in the middle of like something, like you're about to go on to this next area with to fight a boss, or there's so much background noise you can't really hear the audio that well. And it's just it sucks because I think the lore is so rich in there, but it's just there's a lot of things that keep you away from accessing the lore as easily as possible.
Yeah, I saw that. I guess I didn't unlock the Pelican or I didn't see it yet. I would just get on a tank. All right, saw a boss, shot him once, dead. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And the main thing, the the having to find that thing on the ground, going almost to the end of the game. Oh, I didn't know I had to find the thing that kept talking and repeating that same fucking. Was it lamb? What was it? Mary had a little lamb or something.
Huh?
Remember, they're looking that thing that's beeping is his recording of his kid and wife, and I didn't know I had to look in the ground and pick it up.
Oh, when you're like that one boss encounter?
Yeah, the elite.
Oh, why wouldn't you have picked it up though? That would have been like, oh, let
I
me
didn't
check this out.
care. I got like trapped, and I'm like, what? What the? I'm like looking around. I keep hearing it, and I'm like, am I supposed to? Is it supposed to keep playing until I've, you
Well,
know?
because technically you're going after him, so just like any other movie, right? It's like a trinket of someone that I'm supposed to find. Let me pick it up and just look
Yeah,
at it more until the attacker kills me.
that's the only time in the game that it makes you do that. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. So I did say bad game design when I finally realized, oh, I had to pick up this fucking recording. Cool. So that one, yeah. Oh, that one, I was a little pissed because I'm like, I hear it. What?
Okay, well, maybe we'll see. Let's then talk now about the Halo TV series, the Paramount Plus original series that's going to happen, which apparently is a lot sooner than I expected. March 24th is when we get the first episode.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many episodes they're going to be. Originally, the series was supposed to have 10. Who knows how many it's actually going to have because of the whole pandemic and everything. Maybe we'll get 10. Maybe we'll just get 8. I would also assume, and this is just assuming, that they would just release this once a week and not just give us all the episodes. Otherwise, I feel like that would be a bad choice.
Mm-hmm.
But the Halo series, we got the official trailer. Ham confused it for the teaser trailer that we got like a couple months ago, something like that. This was like what, a 2 minute 8-second trailer, something along those lines.
Yeah, 2 and some cents.
All right, Mike, you start off first. What are your initial impressions of the Halo Paramount Plus trailer?
Oh, you guys are done? Okay. So it looks very interesting. I am interested in watching it. I remember back in 2008 when Halo 3 came out. There was like rumors for it to have a movie or a show, and and people kept on saying no, they canceled it because it's too expensive and stuff like that, and because technology wasn't that advanced how it was now.
I think I heard that. Yeah.
So watching the trailer, I was like, holy shit, it looks actually really good. It sort of plays the same. I wonder if it's gonna be like how the Mandalorian or Boba Fett.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing because they're not going to show his face, are they?
Yeah, they're not going to show his face, but I'm wondering how, like, the action, the CGI, the weapons, the costumes, how it's gonna be all together. So I am very interested in how this is all going to work out, and I am getting Paramount Plus for this.
Ooh.
Yeah,
free trial or non-free trial?
I mean, free trial first, and then pay monthly.
Okay, all right, Ham.
I will also be watching because I have Paramount Plus that is for free. So,
was your accountant?
Oh, I don't know. Everything looks good. I got excited. Is the person playing Cortana, was that just her voice or?
That's actually the voice actress.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's cool. What? The only thing that I was, well, no, everything was. I'm already worried about the storyline, so it feels like it differs from the game/movie or books.
Yeah, so I think off air I was trying to explain it to you guys. So before this trailer came out, they 343 published an article talking about the reasoning for why there's some changes in the series that we wouldn't be familiar with coming from the game. And this is supposed to be like its own thing. They call it the Silver Timeline. You can basically think of it like another multiverse where this is a its own like kind of timeline, its own worlds, its own characters, and so it's not going to copy one for one what we've seen in the game or read in the books and stuff like that. It will take some obviously callbacks and some inspiration from it, but it's not gonna, like, we can't expect it to be the same as this. And I think their reasoning behind it was that because they wanted to kind of explore more of what they can do with Halo. And they also mentioned that this allows them to test things in the series that they may want to use in the game moving forward. So it
So
kind
it's
of
going to be its own original story?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like more or less, like it will take some parts. Who knows? Like maybe obviously Dr. Halsey created the Spartans. It still seems like they're sticking with that. Obviously it seems like Cortana will be Master Chief's AI. I mean, that's what it seems like from the trailer. So they'll stick to that. Like there are some beats that they will still stay the same, but there are things that are just gonna imply that this is its own timeline.
Yeah, I'm gonna be also a little pissed if Sergeant Johnson doesn't show up.
I think he is casted in the movie, in the
Samuel
show.
Jackson.
Yeah. Okay. Wearing an eye patch.
Yeah. But no, I think it's kind of smart to have its own original original series, original story, because I know we all have played Halo, and some of us here know the actual lore, and some of us just know of like killing aliens and having fun with the game
That's
itself.
you.
That's me and you.
No,
Um,
no, 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 no. Don't get
you're in the
twisted.
middle. I
I've,
wouldn't
Yeah,
I've,
say
you're him.
I've
You're
done
like
middle.
middle-ish lore.
I've,
you're in the
I've read through.
middle-ish lore.
I've read the 3 original books.
I'm only one level. I'm like only one level to catch up from you.
No,
I believe
no.
so. But I'm talking about like everybody else. Like my wife saw the trailer and she's like, "Oh, look, this looks interesting. Halo, is that a video game, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's a video game." So like other people who don't really play video games or haven't really played Halo, believe it or not, that's shocking. But they're I think this is going to be a brand new door for more people to be Halo fans.
Oh, so I will question you. Have you played Halo Wars 1 and 2?
No, fuck that. I hate those games.
Exactly. um,
Okay, you're 2 levels ahead of me.
uh,
But we'll see how it is. I definitely need to get a review reaction
oh
for
yeah,
the
but
first
just
episode.
one and then just do all of them.
Yeah.
March, Halo, March, Halo.
I'm guessing they're gonna release weekly.
I assume that's been working for most people.
Yeah.
Does Paramount have any other series that we know of that's done either everything out at the same time or weekly?
Not that I'm aware of.
They have Champions League.
I don't even know what that means.
That's a sports competition of soccer.
Yeah, but that's not a show.
That's the only thing I know of what Paramount Plus have.
Well, I didn't know that, so that's interesting.
Okay.
Oh no, and guess who's next? All right, where are all my drinks?
No, I'm just glad you both agree that it looks good.
Yeah.
It just looks fucking good. Like when so when I was watching it, like even with Master Chief being like the first thing that you see, I was more impressed by the Elite. The first time they showed the Elite, and I was like, God damn, that looked way better than I expected this series to be. And then the scene where he's fighting off the 2 Elites, I'm like, okay, they're gonna put in some like outlandish, crazy action in here. Hopefully they live up to that this trailer. My only concern, and I don't think it's gonna be, but I understand why they would go this route, but I'm not agreeing to I'm not agreeing to them having to go this route because we get a new character that's not anywhere from any of the lore, which makes sense because after what we just said. But I almost worry that it's not gonna be like more than 50% Master Chief. It may be like less than 50% about Master Chief and more about like these human characters that we see surrounding Chief.
Yeah, I saw that. I understand what you're saying.
Right. Then that's the thing that I hope they don't do because they I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of characters, but of course the main character is Master Chief. So hopefully the story is evolved around him and they do focus on him.
And it seems
Actually
like one
more.
of the villains is a human, or maybe multiple villains are
Yeah, I don't.
humans, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Because we get that scene where she's walking through like this sort of like I don't know, like an area of the ship or whatever, and then you get the worms that make up the hunters. That the worms are like attacking everybody and everything, which look cool. But then I'm like, who are you? Like, what are you supposed to be? Like this Sith Lord or something to this whole thing? Like, are you the big bad? Because I hope there's a good backstory for you. Otherwise, because I'm so used to like the bad guy being an elite or the bad guy being a brute. Now this time a bad guy's a human, and it's like
That's alienist.
it's weird, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I got to go back and think because, and I hate that I'm still comparing it to the lore, but Spartans were originally created to fight off insurrectionists. So it's not like they were created to fight off the humans. That just kind of came as like a convenience. It's like,
Yeah.
well, they were going to go and fight off this other group of humans. Oh, there's a covenant attack. Never mind. This is what we built them for. Remember this? Yeah, we prepared ourselves. Like that's what it seemed like in the
Do you
original.
think the story could be based on ODST?
That's kind of a weird question to ask based on how ODST was. I mean, what do you mean?
Just like the human characters, like you mentioned, like it could be based off just that type of group, and then Master Chief out of nowhere comes along.
I see.
Mm,
You see what I mean?
No, but then that means this is starting the origins of Master Chief, so maybe not.
I mean, technically, they didn't say it's the origins of Master Chief.
I mean,
yeah, that's
It's
true.
just Halo.
they showed him as a kid, so
I mean,
Gonna
they
be-
could show. They
He
showed,
does. He does have his team too, which they, I mean, could focus more. Like this first series is probably more of like the creation of the Spartans, which could mean less Master Chief because like he wouldn't really become a pivotal role later on.
okay. Well, I mean, the origins of the Spartans. Hey, let me clear it up there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't
Maybe
know.
I don't know. Maybe
Re-
maybe they're going to go that route.
Regardless, it looks fucking good. The wait, I guess, was worth it. Depending on what time in the series in the timeline did I start waiting from
Yeah.
when they first announced it or when they first said that like Neil Blomkamp was gonna be like part of it. I don't know. There's so many different announcements for it, but it looks good. I'm excited for it. I'm happy that the trailer pleased me. It was good. It was great. Had no complaints. Just a couple of worries and concerns. That's it. But I'm looking forward to it. And again, I'm really happy that it's coming a lot sooner than I initially thought. Because I really thought they were going to wait till like the fall to release this thing, but it's like not even like 2 months away.
No, yeah,
But
I saw it when the sneak peek happened. They talked about March. I knew it was March.
yeah, sneak peek.
Yeah, the sneak peeks I think said March.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus. That's my video game review of the month. And then to be completely transparent, though, I have not beaten the main story just yet. I'm probably a little more than halfway through, but I have basically committed a good number of hours. I played a lot nonstop over the weekend. Ham will remember, maybe Mike too. You know that episode of Friends where Chandler plays the Pac-Man machine like all day to get the highest scores?
Oh yeah.
And his hand was like cramped. That's what my hand was like after playing Arceus for so long. Like it got to a point where I realized I need to buy a fucking Switch because the Switch Lite isn't cutting it for me. So if that means anything to anybody at this point, that means that this game is extremely addicting and extremely fun. Now, what I will say though is that Game Freak, the company that creates these Pokemon games, I think may have shot themselves in the foot with this game though.
Uh-oh.
Now, to lead up to that statement, the story is like nothing to like over the top exciting. It's a little interesting because you're playing in a region that is what is called the Sinnoh region for Diamond and Pearl. You're playing this region like 200 years in the past. So a lot of this shit hasn't happened yet. In fact, the whole story, without spoiling it, is that you are I guess thrown into this area not knowing how you got there, and all these people don't even know who you are. But in this time period, everyone's afraid of Pokemon because they always see them as like these terrifying monsters, and they kind of resemble that because there's these they call alpha Pokemon, which actually are much larger than their usual size, and they have like red glowing eyes, and they are very aggressive when you come near them. So to those people, they're like, oh fuck Pokemon, like we don't want to deal with them, they're too scary or whatever. But since you come from somewhere that recognizes Pokemon and that you're familiar with Pokemon, you actually kind of convince people that Pokemon and people can coexist.
Yeah.
And what's kind of cool is that there's only like one major town, and it's the town that you start off with. And Ham will know this. You know how in Digimon World you beat a Pokemon and like or a Digimon, sorry, you beat a Digimon and then they come to your town and they do something for your town. So not to that same depth, but there are some side quests that you do for certain people where like, oh, we could use something to plow through this field.
Wait a minute.
And then they'll be like, oh, can you get us some Pokemon that's like a rock type? You give them a Pokemon, and then that Pokemon's still there in the overworld in that town, and they kind of do the job that they were asked to do. So you're kind of convincing people that these Pokemon are not that bad, and that they can help people, and that you can become partners with them. So it's kind of an interesting story, especially because they also throw in some characters that resemble some characters you see later on in future Pokemon games, or in this case, like the games that we've already played. They look like certain characters. They have names that are sound similar to other characters. So it's kind of like a weird thing, oh, I remember you, but you're actually not these people. So it's interesting nevertheless. Again, though, the story isn't where it wins like the most points. The game is very open world. It's like you have 5 big areas to run around in, and the areas of the maps, like, I don't know if the trailer really did any justice to it, because they are much bigger than the trailer gives off. Like, there are a lot of areas that you can go over and under, and then there's certain parts of the map that you actually have to go the long way around, like going over like an entire like valley just to get to that new area where there's new Pokemon to discover. And it's like it's a very weird, like, I don't know, sense of traveling, like going through and like finding all this stuff and then going in tunnels. It's very overwhelming at first, but once you start getting like Pokemon that you can ride around on, then it becomes much easier to travel through. This is sort of like a kid's first introduction to open world games, because we've played enough games, open world games, to the point where, like, for instance, fast travel. Fast travel is just a standard. I was doing fast travel very early on in the game, and it wasn't until like many hours later I got a tutorial on how to do fast travel. And I was like, wait, what? Why this? I've been doing it like all this time. Like, why now? And then there was a couple other moments like that where it's like it gave me a tutorial for something that I've already done 1,000 times. It's like, why are you not telling me this? And I keep thinking, like, this is still Pokemon, and you're still gonna get kids that play this. Kids probably aren't used to open world games, and so this will be brand new to them. So I think it's kind of like a nice little introduction for those, like, for the young ones to like get into that sort of genre of games. I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about before I actually get into the big positives. The graphics are nothing really to praise about. I don't think the graphics are bad. I'm more convinced that it's just a particular art style. Like, you know how like that kind of Japanese, like, not flat art, but like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's very you're an artist. What's the words I'm looking for here? Like, you know, the Japanese style of drawing and stuff like that. That's what it seems like it's on everything, whether it's from Pokemon, the people, the textures of the trees and the sand and the water. It just seems very much like it's sticking to that theme, and so it's okay. Now, the biggest positive. Oh, go ahead. You had a question?
I said, I'm in the performing arts, but hold on. Bandai, yeah, I got the scoop. To ripping you off. How do you compare it to, let's say, that last Digimon game you did not finish?
Digimon World?
Yeah.
You know what? It's kind of like that. Yeah, because that had Digimon in the overworld, right?
Yep.
Yeah, actually, it's basically that game.
I told you, Bandai.
It's basically that game. Okay, but here's the biggest pros to this game and why it's so addicting. So now you have these Pokemon that just exist, like, they're not random encounters. You see these Pokemon from afar. You get closer to them and they react to you, whether they're aggressive and they go towards you, or you startle them and they run away from you, or some of them just don't do shit at all because they don't care what you do. They're just there. And one of the coolest things about this game is that you can do multiple actions all at the same time. So what I mean by that is, also in this game there's crafting. So there's resources to collect, and you can throw a Pokeball at a resource and that Pokemon will collect it for you. So I had this instance happen where there was 2 Pokemon and 2 resources like right in front of me. I basically threw 2 different Pokemon to these 2 different resources, and I threw a Pokeball at one of the Pokemon, and then I went into a battle with a third Pokemon with the one of the 2 that I was going against, I was trying to catch. I went into battle with them. I did all of that at the exact same time. You can literally just throw Pokeballs and throw Pokemon out whenever and however you feel like. And the switching on and off between the items and the Pokemon is so easy to do. It's just the press of a button and it switches to your Pokemon and you can just scroll through your Pokemon. You can throw out all 6 of your Pokemon at the same time if you wanted to. Like, it is such a cool feeling to have to do all of those things at like and it's so fluid. There's no lag, there's no pause, there's no stalling of anything. It's seamless. Now, the other cool thing, and I think only Ham is gonna probably really like understand this. So you know how every Pokemon has only 4 moves,
Yeah.
right? They only learn those 4 moves, and when they level up, they learn a new move, and then you have to delete an old one. This time around, they actually have it so that they keep all the moves they learn, and you just swap out whatever 4 moves you want.
Oh man, that's
cool.
like Digimon.
So like, 'cause my first instance was like, for my starter, I bought a move for it. Like, I went to a move tuner. I was like, here's your $500. Now teach me my flying type move so I can battle grass Pokemon. And I went to a fight with a grass Pokemon and the move wasn't there. I was like, what the fuck? I got scammed. Like, I paid $500 for this shit. It's not even on my Pokemon. And I was like, what's happening? So I went to the summary section or whatever, and it doesn't say to check moves. It says to change moves. So I looked at it, and then there's this whole list on the left-hand side of like all these moves that you eventually will learn, and it piles up, and then you can just swap out whatever moves you want. You can have tackle or 4 water moves and all these, whatever you wanted. And they don't ever get deleted. And I thought that's such a cool thing to have. Like, back in the old games, I was always wondering, like, I hated that because I was like, I don't want to get rid of Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump's a powerful move, but I know I need this other move. So it sucks. I have to risk it. I had to delete that and get a TM later and just whatever. This was so much better.
Wow, it's like Digimon did that back in '97.
Hey man, no one plays Digimon that much.
Yeah, nobody.
Digimon had the characters out, and you could throw items at them seamlessly almost.
I didn't know people even like Digimon.
Hey, I like Digimon. I bought Digimon cards the other day.
Jesus Christ.
It's not off Digimon, and I want in somehow. I would like you said, in the style. I know what you mean. It's more of and well, I'd just say anime, more anime-ish than.
I guess so.
The thing is, I would like the opposite. I mean, I know it's still for kids, but I want a grown-up Pokemon with more realistic graphics. Shit, come on, man.
Sure.
Make it a thing.
So now getting to, if you haven't figured out why I said Game Freak has pretty much shot themselves in the foot, if they go away with these features, it's going to be so hard to go back to playing a standard Pokemon game. Because, right, the standard game is you go through, you catch a couple Pokemon, you're forced into some battles. Oh, and by the way, I've only done like 5 battles in this game. Like, there's no battles really. Like, it's all focused mostly on catching Pokemon and doing these side quests and catching more Pokemon for these people. But like, going back to the routine of like going on this sort of one-way track and going from town to town and sending out one Pokemon at a time and having to go into a fight and weaken the Pokemon and catch it. That, like, just from saying that alone, it's just like, I don't want to go back to that. Like, I want them to stick to what they have here, because this is so much more fun and so good that it has to be something that they're gonna start implementing moving forward. But I don't know that for a fact.
I've got 2 more things to say. One, hey, Game Freak, can you listen to me and we can make some money? An option where you can have both. Switch to like OG Pokemon where it looks blocky, and what you have now. Think about that. Second, when you said something about the storyline, is it the storyline where the guy loves the origins, but then he gets traveled to that and he finds out he is the guy who invented catching Pokemon?
What the fuck this is? Assassin's Creed?
I'm saying, I think that's
spoilers, people. Spoilers. Yeah. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear spoilers, I mean, there's small spoilers, but spoilers in case you don't want to hear spoilers.
Just skip. No, just fast forward us.
Yep. Yeah. Mike doesn't care about spoilers. He doesn't even have a fucking Switch.
Oh yeah, true.
He doesn't even have a light switch at his house. The story starts off with the god of Pokemon, Arceus, for whatever reason, this is never. I mean, maybe he'll explain it at the end of the game. I don't know. Sends you back in time
What I'm saying.
to basically convince people that Pokemon are not these terrible creatures that they're implying, but also to make your path to go see him, to meet Arceus in person. And so he tasked you with completing the Pokédex for the region, which is it's kind of a weird story start, but that's what it comes down to. That you're from the future, basically.
Yeah.
And it's really weird because it's apparently if you play the boy character, he wears a shirt that's from Generation 6, and if you play the girl, she wears a shirt that's from Generation 7. No, 8, Generation 8, the newest one that just came out. So it's like it has some links to like some tie-ins to some of the newer Pokemon games, but it's not very clear just yet. And then like I said, there's a lot of characters that resemble a lot of the characters that you meet in the other games.
Like
before because I know you just mentioned that you feel like that Game Freak kind of shot themselves in the foot. Like I so far what I've always remembered is that when they released a new Pokemon game, I've never ever remember them ever going back except for like I guess Mystery Dungeon, where it's sort of like the same exact type of game style of it. But still though, like every time when they release a new Pokemon game, they always have gone forward and they've never really gone back except for like some of the remixes of like was it Red and Blue and Ruby and Sapphire just to update its graphics. But every time when they release sort of like a new style of gameplay of Pokemon, they've always went forward with it. So probably this game is sort of like a new test for new upcoming Pokemon games.
I hope so, and that's what a lot of people are saying. And I'm kind of in that same boat where this is kind of like a big like demonstration of like this is what they want to implement. The rumor is that we are going to get our new generation this year. I don't think so. I feel like it's going to wait another year, but I just know. I mean, I have this bit feeling that if it doesn't stick to this formula that Legends of Arceus put, it's gonna disappoint a lot of people. Are they gonna hate it? I mean, some people are extreme, so maybe, but I think I'm gonna be in that that same boat where if they go back to the standard routine of Pokemon, I'm gonna be disappointed because they have something so cool here that I want them to continue it, but I don't want to set that expectation because I don't know what development is like, because they've been working on this new generation for at least a couple years now. So who knows what they've planned for it.
And when you generation, do you mean is this an actual like Red and Blue or is this
No, so it's a mainline game, but it's not a new generation. So like our last generation was Sword and Shield, which was a few and then before that was Sun and Moon, and then we had
Ruby and
X
Sapphire.
X and Y. Ruby and Sapphire was Generation 3. So that was after Johto. That was after Generation 2. So this isn't a new generation. Although they introduced a lot of new Pokemon, which is interesting, but it's not a new generation. Like Generation 9 is going to come either later this year or next year.
And Sword and Shield was the first Pokemon game to be open world or 3D.
They had an open world area. It was like the central area, and the towns were all around that central area.
Okay,
I know that game. A lot of fans are mixed about it.
I thought Sword and Shield was great. I loved that game, and especially for that open area. I thought that was really cool. But they like definitely dialed up like times 10 on this game for the open world stuff and what you can do in the open world stuff.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, we'll see in the future. I hope they do a lot more things sort of like this. Whenever I decide to get a Switch, this is going to be one of the first games I will be playing for sure. Because the way that the gameplay looked, and this was something that I talked about my brother. The marketing for this game was not that well.
Oh no, none of the trailers do the game justice at all.
None whatsoever. I had to actually like look into somebody else's live stream while they were playing it, and it sort of remind me, and this is gonna sound ridiculous, it kind of remind me of like Monster Hunter, the way that you catch the Pokemon and you
Yeah.
battle them.
You mean Digimon?
Oh.
No, this sounds like a good alternative to Digimon, considering what you mentioned. And
Yeah, I mean, more successful than Digimon, you know.
there can only be one. But I'm interested, and I really want to maybe play it.
Got you. So, is it a green card, Sal?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's a green card.
Got you. All right then. All right.
All right, so there's that game. Let's talk now. Our last topic, the movie that we ended up watching because we couldn't figure out what else to watch. I mean, I guess we had options, but we
Yeah,
didn't really have options. And then Mike said there's a shark movie, so I was like, on for sharks, and
Yeah.
Mike likes Jaws, so he's gotta like shark movies too.
I love
Like,
shark movies.
sure. And then the title of the movie is called The Requin, which I believe Requin is something to do with sharks. I feel like I should know this, but I think it's
Yeah, it's the name of the shark.
well, not the shark, but it's like a title referring to like to sharks in that family, scientifically speaking.
Something like that. Apparently, to the director is the name of what they give to sharks. Apparently,
Yes.
if you have to search for the movie, you have to look. I think you have to type sometimes 2022, or there's another name it goes by, like Far Away or something. So
Really?
there's that too. Yeah.
Huh. Okay, well, so the Requin is labeled as a mystery horror, which is really weird because I would not get either of those from this movie.
Yeah.
Blame Google. It was a very short movie, hour and 29 minutes. The synopsis: there's terror in paradise when Jalen and Kyle travel to a remote seaside villa in Vietnam for a romantic getaway. A torrential storm descends, reducing the villa to a little more than a raft and sweeping the young couple out to sea. Suddenly, another danger appears: a school of great white sharks. With her injured husband watching helplessly, Jalen must battle the deadly predators alone. I feel
Literally,
like that spoiled the entire movie.
yeah, that's literally the longest one you've ever read, I think.
yeah. So far,
Probably. Hey, blame Google. All right, blame Google. Ham, do you like sharks? Let me ask you that first.
I like them when they're on the street. They're street sharks.
I did not see that coming.
I
Fuck.
did not see
Okay, IMDb gives it a 2.4 out of 10.
Jesus Christ.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 60%.
Wait, 60?
60.
Wow.
Fandango, where did you come in from?
What the fuck?
Metacritic was like, nah, I ain't doing this shit. Fandango gives it a 12%.
Out of 100, I assume.
No, I would assume so too. And then Ham, after getting the surveys back from his friends, he did some math and may or may not have miscalculated because only 36% like this movie. Surprisingly, this movie stars Alicia Silverstone.
Yeah.
What was the last thing she was in before this?
I
Clueless?
do know she was in the show Suburbia or whatever, because the guy who was the main guy in that show was in Clueless as well. The thing that fucked up her career was Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Tupper was in Clueless?
No.
You said the other.
Talking about the last thing she was in.
Oh, okay. James Tupper, who plays her husband in this movie.
He's in a lot of stuff I don't watch.
And then there's other people that I don't really know if they're really relevant to this or not.
Exactly.
Because really it just focuses on those two.
Yeah.
Okay. So cards first, and then we'll go back around to pros and cons. Mike, what card do you give the Requin?
This fucking deserves a Becky. I'm getting a fucking Becky. This is a fucking Becky. I wouldn't even be surprised if we changed the name Becky to the fucking Requin. But Becky sounds better. But fucking Becky of the year. I'm giving it out early. I don't think there's another worse movie than this shit that's going to be. Yeah, fucking Becky. If anything, a fucking death card. but Becky.
Mike does give it up early.
Fuck you. What the
Ham.
I fucking Mike stole the words out of my mouth. I'm getting a Requin card or whatever. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. It really was bad. The Requin card.
Okay. I guess it's my turn. Listen, I still would not watch Becky, regardless of what other piece of shit movie we watch. Okay,
No.
I would still not watch Becky. All right, I don't like to watch children like that, weirdo. That's you, man.
Whoa.
The Requin at the most probably gets like, you got the card, you forgot to like print it out a certain color, so you take a marker and you go get halfway through, and then that's where you stop. You're like, it's not worth it.
No.
That's how I feel about this. It's so at the most it's a red card. I don't think anyone can justify anything higher than a red card, and if you do, really look in the mirror and reflect on your life decisions and how you got to this point. But there's nothing good about this movie.
No.
Not even the shark.
Nope.
Not even the shark.
Not
Like-
even the.
Is it me, or was there multiple sharks and then
I thought so too.
There was. I don't know, man. I don't.
You're right. There
It
were,
all came down to this one shark.
and it has like a beef with this lady, and you don't even know why. Like,
Spoilers,
goddamn,
people, by the way.
lady.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Please, people, don't watch.
It doesn't
this.
even matter. Yeah.
It don't matter.
Fuck
Listen,
them. Well, the worst movie I've ever seen, probably.
this is. Oh, you go ahead, Sal.
Well, no, I mean, we can just kind of just go in all of this together, but the story really is about like this couple who they lost a child at birth, I guess, or during the pregnancy.
And
the
husband
mother
don't give a shit.
No, that's not true at all. The mother is going through PTSD and shit, and the father or the husband.
Yeah. Father.
The husband is.
Were they married?
Like, yeah, they were married. The husband was like, I think, because I've heard stories like this. Like, the husband didn't really take it well. Like, they're really upset by the whole situation. So it's revealed later on that they were yelling at each other, that he threatened divorce and all that shit. But it came down to like, okay, they actually took a step back and was like, no, we're not going to make these rash decisions. And so the husband plans this getaway for them to reconnect, to ensure that their marriage is still fine and everything like that. But the wife is just, Alicia Silverstone, is just batshit crazy the whole time. And listen, I don't care what shit you went through. At this point, it's just a movie, but you're fucking annoying as hell. Like, I got angry with her. I was like, just shut up right now. Like, I wanted to put it on mute and just read the subtitles, but I feel like that would have been too much work. So no, I was like, God, this is so aggravating. Like, whoever wrote this script, just break your pencil next time and just stop writing. Like,
Just stop.
Oh God.
Yeah, or if anything, just sit down on your pencil and shove it up your ass.
Whoa!
But like the movie starts off the whole sequence with her losing the child, but it doesn't really do anything with it. And it's like, are you gonna make a connection to something later? Is some miracle gonna happen later? No, I mean, nothing at all.
From the beginning of the movie, you kind of realize like this has nothing to do with the story, because a baby died, shark, death baby, shark, miscarriage, shark. What? Shark.
Oh, and that's the worst. Like, that's false advertising. It's like, people hate this company because the movie poster has a big ass shark like ready to eat this bitch, and then the other movie poster has like a school of sharks swimming around. The shark doesn't even come into the movie until like the last maybe 30-40 minutes at most.
20,
I checked it.
Actually 20. Was it 30? I think it was 28 minutes left.
Was it? I thought it was at least 30. I was trying to give it the benefit of a doubt.
I know 40 minutes in, and then there was no sharks though.
I just remember checking the fucking time like 6, 7, 8 times. I was like, is this movie over yet? How much do we got left? Like, when is this done? Like, I almost wanted to fast forward to the credits and be like, yeah, guys, I saw the whole thing. Totally.
I remember I checked an hour and 10 minutes and there was no shark. There was Flipper. Flipper was in the movie.
Great cameo.
Great cameo. There was a dolphin, by the way, if anybody didn't get that.
And I get trying to build a smoke to signal like a ship or a helicopter, but do they not fucking realize that they're on wood? Like, do they not think that was gonna burn the shit down?
No, I need you to tell me right now, is that possible?
The whole plastic bottle? Yes, it is.
Okay.
But still, why would you set it on fire? It doesn't make sense. Like, I get it. You're crazy. You're going off your rocker here. But that doesn't justify you burning the only thing keeping you afloat.
Can we talk about the chemistry between these two? The wife and the husband? The chemistry is horrendous. Oh my God. It constantly, the guy's like, I love you, honey. You want me to download social media? I'm not on social media. I'll download social media for you, honey. I love you.
All right.
Nothing's going to tear us apart. My God, my leg.
Oh, fuck.
I forgot about the leg.
It was so bad. I had to look up my favorite review on IMDb. This is my favorite. I read almost all of them. Silverstone's Shark Week Screech Shriek. Yeah, there you go. Effects rivaling Echo the Dolphin on Sega Genesis. Coupled with AT's Alicia Silverstone's raspy, scraggly, squeaking shriekies and over emotive face pulling makes this Shark Week treat to behold. If you absolutely have to watch this with a gun to your head or something, drink heavily and insist on earplugs. The Requin requit while you're ahead. Oh God, whoever wrote this, mwah! Fucking garbage.
Anything else, Sal?
Why do we have that Vietnamese guy at the end? Like,
I don't know.
I feel like it was a hate crime at that point. What happened?
I'm like, is she trying to help him? Is she just trying to let him die now? I'm like, I don't know. She was on land. What? Get back on fucking land. The sandbar, whatever it was. CGI and effects are garbage. Sal thought something was wrong. Maybe. What else? The ghost part scene or dream scene, whatever. Oh, insane. And I did look up the interesting fact. It was shot in Universal Studios in Orlando.
Got it. So they filmed this fucking movie in Cocoa Beach. It makes fucking sense now.
We have Vietnamese people in Cocoa Beach?
Yes, we
got a lot of people here.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Okay. My take on this movie is that, like, I could literally tell you, beginning of the movie, they have issues because of what happened with the baby, that the baby died and whatever, right? And then there's a storm coming. They call them saying, hey, do you want to relocate because the storm is coming? They're like, no, we'll be fine. The storm takes her fucking hotel room, right? And then she's fucking hanging on off of water. And this guy, her husband's like hanging on to her. And he's like, honey, I love you. And then he crashed into a fucking rock. And then they burned the fucking wood thing that they were standing on, thinking that they could, like, people will see them. But no, they jumped inside the water while the husband is fucking bleeding. A shark comes, multiple sharks come, like they all came, but the movie wants you to think that it was only one shark. But I'm pretty sure I saw like 4 fins.
Yeah, there was multiple.
There was multiple ones. And then for some reason, like, I mean, the husband dies because both of his legs are gone. But for some reason, her fucking stabbing the water is hurting the shark.
Yeah.
It was like a pathetic, like, it was like a little tiny, like, little, like, What thing? And she's stabbing the shark, and it hurt the shark.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
And then she goes on land. She has this weird dream sequence with the husband, like "I love you, baby." And then when she wakes up, the two sharks are eating the husband's body.
that was so bad. To be, we haven't said it much, but the CGI was shit. It was
No,
shit.
yeah. Oh, I was getting to the CGI right now.
Okay.
It comes then, and then the next morning she wakes up again. She's on this sand thing. She's walking towards like this little small island. She's already on land, but for some reason the shark already has her leg. But it's like, and then it the CGI doesn't match up with the leg or even in the water, and it doesn't match up whatsoever, and it's so fucking horrendous. And then what does this bitch do? She gets like she's on land, and then she jumps on a rock, and then she sees this boat, and then she jumps back inside the water, and then she wakes this Asian guy, and the Asian guy like sees what's going on, and like he stitches her up, and he's like, yeah, I had to go inside the water to get my crabs. Fucking he gets eaten. For some reason this fucking movie became The Shallow with Blake Lively. Watch that fucking movie. That movie was actually really good. Have you guys seen that movie? It's really good.
I have not. No.
Second one.
It's really good. And then for some reason this shark was like, yeah, you remember me, bitch? I have beef with you. I don't even know where the hell this shark came from. And then the shark jumps out of the fucking water.
Oh yeah.
It jumps off of water and lands on the boat and tips her. And then this is the tipping point. This is the cherry on the pie. She grabs the anchor, wraps it around, but the anchor is already like passed down the shark. But she was fast enough to put it inside the shark's mouth, and the shark dies.
Was that even really her goal? Because I was so confused what was happening there. Because I thought the anchor was like already like it was already up, right? Because she pulled it up, the boat tipped over, and I thought she was wrapping herself around to like try to pull like the middle part of the boat so she can get through it. Maybe I didn't know if she was trying to pull the anchor up, but I feel like at the same time, listen, I get it. We try to think that we're smarter than animals, but there's no way that that shark was that fucking dumb to run straight into an anchor like that.
Yeah.
I don't know because CGI guy shark was stupid, I guess.
Wait, this is my turn. So you're still your turn.
We all went all over the place, man. It
That's
doesn't
how
matter.
the movie is. The last thing I'll say is I noticed that it's a Saban film, which just reminds me they sort of brought Power Rangers to America, and you know how they did that? They used the what was it, the Sentai?
Yeah, the Japanese series. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I think this movie was. They use a lot of fucking Discovery planet shit. Half of that they just cut into the movie, and then the other half they just film them chilling in water. And there's your fucking movie. The end.
I didn't really understand the ending of it, where you're on, like these people are on the beach and they see a floating boat that looks like a hat, and she's on top of it, and then there's like a very like joyful music in the end.
If you
Oh,
want to,
yeah, the soundtrack was really weird to this thing.
The
Yeah,
soundtrack was definitely like 90s theme.
no, it was
I was just really weird. I just thought it was weird.
It was they had no money theme. I also checked, and the movie cost $8.5 million to make.
That's way too much.
Yes, agreed.
8 point what
8.5.
million?
Yes, million, of course.
I think the
How the fuck
director
did-
kept 8 of that.
Yeah,
He pretty much did. How the fuck did Paranormal Activity cost way less? Almost like what, like 100,000 or something like that. Like they're in the thousands, and it was a better movie.
yeah.
Man, CGI sharks aren't that cheap.
No, they're not. Oh,
Sharknado is better.
Listen, I'm I don't give it up as easy as Mike, so I will say that this is a super high contender number 1 spot to earn that Becky card.
I don't. It's not possible. There's not going to be anything worse.
Becky. I still hate fucking Becky. I'm sorry. It's just
I don't.
traumatized me. I'm going through PTSD already.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, don't watch this movie.
Don't avoid it at all
don't.
costs. Don't
Avoid
touch it. Don't even think about it. Don't even Google it. If you Googled it, you again reflect on your life decisions.
Right.
I saw an interview
part
about this, and the actress, she was talking about this movie, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm really excited for people to watch it. It's a really good movie. It's suspenseful. It's gonna be on the edge of your seat, you know."
What?
On the edge of my seat of me walking the fuck out. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Oh boy. All right, there you go. 2 reds and a Becky. Well, I don't. Are you a Becky or a red?
I'm really a Becky.
Okay, so 2 Beckys and a red. Again, I'm not gonna give it up that easily.
Can't be as bad.
I don't know. Don't. Like I said, don't watch it. We won't even tell you where you can even watch it. Just leave it alone. Leave it at that. It's a mystery at this point, and it's just stay a mystery.
Leave alone the $7 rental.
Next week, if all goes according to plan, our next episode, we actually finally will get to review the entire series of the Book of Boba Fett, because next Wednesday is the last episode for that series. Wait, what did you say?
I haven't watched the new one.
Yeah, I'm halfway through the new one right now, but I've been very anxious and excited to talk about the series, so I'm looking forward to next week for that episode, and I think that should be it, because I don't think anything major is releasing this weekend unless Moonfall. Is Moonfall released this weekend?
We're not gonna. We have Moonfall, and then
I want to see Moonfall.
Well, I have Jackass, but
yeah, I'm not watching that shit.
I thought we were gonna marry me.
No, I will not.
Oh, Jennifer Lopez.
Okay. If you want to follow us on social media, I feel like at this point I'm taking it over from Mike, because I don't know if he can remember any of it.
I haven't. Oh, let me try.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Fuck it up.
Guys, follow us on Instagram and Twitter on Whose Review Matters. Anyways, it's WRAM.
WRMA.
WRMA? Oh, WRMA podcast.
Close.
Follow us there, and then go on our YouTube and follow us there too. WRMA podcast as well too.
WRMA cast, no pod. You got to be technical. That's how it is.
All right, guys.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WRMA cast. Yes, I'm keeping that all in there so that way they know you fucked it up.
Oh shit.
All right, that wraps it up. Any closing words, gentlemen?
Requin. Don't watch it. Save yourself.
Live long and prosper.
I really thought you were gonna follow that up with a Requin joke or something. Nope, nothing. That's fair. Nope. Don't watch the Requin. Just don't do it to yourself.
Don't do it.